Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Cecilia from ScientistPlans, and in this video I'm going to be sharing how I get organized for work. So I'm going to be showing the planners that I use, the notebooks, and everything that is related to my job. So for those that don't know, I'm a neuroscientist. I'm a research associate in a lab that is inside a hospital. And my job consists in putting together projects, writing grants, writing results, publishing papers, training students, training other scientists on the field, and basically dealing with a lot of data and also collaborators where we share our results, experience, and our main goal is for sure to advance science and to help patients. So my planning system was like curated over the years to basically help me get organized and not to miss my deadlines, and also not to make me or my students or my colleagues waste their time and money and resources. So here you see a lot of different planners and notebooks, but have an open mind that you don't have to have it all to organize your work or your job or your studies, but maybe you could find some suggestions and you would identify yourself with something that I'm using that might help you. So this video is not only to scientists, it's to everybody who wants to get organized either for work or for study. So if you were a student from school, college, university, master's, PhD, everything, I hope you get some nice ideas from all my adventures. So let's start. This year in October, I decided to use this planner as my everyday carry, although I'm not going to the lab every day, but the planner that was going to go to the lab with me, and also where I would concentrate my to-dos. So there is some future planning in it, but it's mainly focused on what do I have to do today. So each day I go through this planner and I check on my list, and I also set up what I have to do on the next day. So it's very straightforward. So this is a daily planner. It's the Hobonichi title, and is in an A6 size, so it's very small, as you can compare here in my hand and this pen. Super portable, easy to carry, and I really like that I can put this plastic cover on covers, the way that it's called from the Hobonichi. You can clean it up very easily, and you can also layer a couple things and decorate if you are into that. I am. So I have here vellum and some stickers. These are all academia related stickers. This is from Academiology. I'll try to put all the links below, but if there's something that I forget, send me a message and I'll be sure to give the reference to you. So let's dive into this planner. I want to show the nice thing about this cover is that you can have your pen here, so it already helps you. Either you could just carry this with you, like you have your pen and your planner, you're good to go, or you can have something else. I can show my something else later after I'm done with the planner. Here I just, to be honest, this is just decoration. I never really looked into these things on my day-to-day things, so maybe for next year I won't be that focused on having a nice decorating thing going on, but I do like to have pretty things to look at. But for work, I rarely check on this thing. So I got a new cover from Sojourner, but I don't have it. I was waiting on the cover to show them to you, but I guess I'll just do another video. And I think I only have one pocket for this new cover, and it'll be great because I will only have my access card to the institute, so that works. So anyways, but if you like to decorate, please do. So here, what I didn't use this calendar, so you have like a yearly view, and you also have the next year, so 2021, and I think, yeah, that's it. In the A5, it gives you the previous year, but here you only have the year, but I didn't use it. The way that I'm using this planner is I adapted a couple things from the bullet journal method, and I share a video where I was like sharing with you how I came up with the system that I'm using so far. So that's why I wanted to do another video, just to show that this thing's been working since October and I'm really happy with it. So the bullet journal method, the way that you register and that you write down things, you come up with some signifiers, so some symbols, just to be like really easy for you to spot what you have to do. And on my key for this bullet journal, I'll try to get a little closer here so that it's easy for you. I I'm using basically what is in there. Maybe I think I changed a couple things, but let's go through them. So I put a dot that signifies that this is a task. When a task is completed, I just cross it. If I don't complete the task on that day, that means I'm probably going to do it in another day. I put this symbol. Or if it migrated back to the monthly view, what we call the feature log, and I don't know when it's going to be done, I put this thing that is moving back to the monthly views because the monthly views are in the first pages. I marked next to the task if something is a priority with an asterisk. And if I want to write something important about the day, I put this triangle with the exclamation point. If I want to insert just a note, I would put like this wiggly thing. If I have an event, it will be a circle. If the event is completed, in fact, I don't do the field dot. In fact, what I do is that I cross over the dot. So that means that the event was completed. And I hardly ever put event postponed. Yeah, so I don't use that for some reason. Then after you have the like year at a glance, where you have one line per day, you could use this as an index. I started using it for work on October, so let's go to October. I'm writing basically things that I might want to look at like in the future. So if I have an experiment that was completed on that day, if I had an important meeting, if I wrote notes on my pages like this, I know where the notes are, then this is what I'm writing in here so far. So this was October, November, and now December. So I write basically things that are important in each day. So there is really no rule, be like, oh, I need to remember this in the future, so I just put in here. That's my criteria. And you can go, I think it will give you December and January, February, March as well of the next year. But I'm not really pre-planning next year ahead. Then you have the monthly views. I like dot stickers, so I thought, should I use some dot stickers, like color coding and things? But then I had to have all these color dots with me to the lab. And also the color dots that I'm using on the daily pages, are going to see they're quite big and then I don't have enough space. So this was just a test and I didn't like it. So I'm like, I'm not going to use this way. Here in October, I was like using, so this is when I moved in to this planner for my work. So I was just writing things with this pen. And when something was like really important, I would highlight it, but I think it was still really like bland and I wouldn't see things as much. It was pretty light. So for November, well, I guess I kept the same. But what happened now in December that I was like, I need things to pop a little more because this is just not, not a lot of color. This, although I had the highlights, still I didn't enjoy. And this is what I came up in December. So I used the black thing. And when it's an experiment, something that I really need to know on that day in my monthly view, then I write in red. And then if something like super important, I cannot forget like the day that I'm in charge to go to the lab on a weekend to check on everybody's experiment, then I put in a highlight like this, I know. So yeah, so this is how the monthly view is working best and how I'm gonna keep it up for next year. But if something changes, then I'm going to come back here and show it to you. But I kind of like it not to have the stickers on my work planner because then I don't need to take with me to work. I can just store them in, I have it here at home and I can use it in my other things. Although I love stickers, but yeah, I don't need to carry with me. I don't need to be stressed about that. Although I can put them on a pocket, but yeah, I don't know. I just like the simple thing. So let me just stop a bit to say something about the pen. The pen that I'm using in this planner is the Jetstream 0.38, but I put inside this Energel Clean body just because I really think that this pen is comfortable. I love it a lot, so I just put it here. This Jetstream refill will fit in most of the pens that I own. So it fits here in the cleaner, so it's this refill here. And it also fits in a Sarasa Grande that I have here on my ring planner. And I have another one here. So it's this one. And it has different colors and things. It's very pretty. And it also fits in here. So if you see me using a pen, ask me which refill I have inside. Because normally I change them up. Just because, yeah. But in a Hobonichi paper, I really love the Jetstream. So this is what I'm using. But because I have now the red pen, so this is my pencil pouch, the one that I'm taking to work. It's the tiniest that I have in my entire life, but it's really like something that is curated to what I need. So I have markers. I have a blue and a yellow one. I have this this big pen with multiple colors. This is in fact what I write on my lab book, my details for experiments, because each color means something. And it's like if I'm not in the lab, I can ask someone to open my lab book and find the details because it's really organized and color coded. And I've been using this pen forever, even for university when I was studying and doing like I like to write, and I write a bunch of things all the time. I don't mind repeating things when I'm writing because my brain has really like a photographic memory. And when I study, not so much right now because I just read and stuff, but I would write and I would change colors in each paragraph. And I remember like when I had my exams, I would remember like, oh, the green comes after the blue, and then it comes the red, and then it comes the black, and then I would remember the order of things, how some biological process would happen, especially developmental things that I was studying. Anyways, this is how I work. I like color coding. I have a pencil, mechanical pencil, and eraser. Those are my favorite ones for now for some reason. This is 0.5, and this is the black eraser, and it's a really good one. I mean, probably not the best eraser on earth, but somehow I like it, and I really bought it because it was black, and I'm like, what, the black eraser? And I like it, and I think it looks great. And then I got this pen, and this pen is nice because you can put 3 colors in here. I don't have the colors that are here, so it comes with the black, a blue, and the red. In fact, I only changed the black to green. So this is what is that? As a Jetstream F series, I think is the name. And this color of the barrel, I don't know now if it's a pink or a gold. I think it's silky gold, the color, but it's very comfortable. Yeah, I saw this on Lindsay Scribbles, and also Robin on Instagram. She also got one and she loved it. And I said, yeah, I want to try too, especially because I can have multiple colors with me. And I have them my red in this thing, and it's also Jetstream 0.38. I just bought the refills on Amazon, so perfect. This is what I carry. And then I will have my color thing going on here. All right, so let's go into the pages. So as I told you, I started using it in the middle October, and this is in fact how the spread looks like, because you have a daily planner, so you have 1 page per day. And basically I write, so this thing here is when I started on a Wednesday. So on Tuesday, I just wrote what I have to do this week. But normally I do this week to-dos on like a Sunday or so in the weekend. And this is how it looks like. I have the dots for each task. Here, I think I wasn't crossing still because I was still like deciding on my signifiers. So this was my first test of my signifiers, and it was super messy with a ton of different things. And I said, no, this is overwhelming. I might not remember. It will get complicated. And this is when I, in fact, came back to the basics, and it's just a dot. I cross the dot if it's completed. It's a circle for an event. And the title of my event is all caps like this. It really catch my attention. The page has this line here. I don't know if you can see it. So there is a line here in black that divides, because in fact you can use it as a time thing, but I don't. But there is a line, and which is cool about it is that, let me go when I start writing here. When I put all my tasks in dots, so here I completed most of it. I guess I didn't complete this one. But I put an asterisk when something, it's my priority. So that's my priority. I have to be sure that I'm gonna finish it on that day. And this is really nice to have this line, because then it looks organized and the asterisk kind of pops out because it's in another column. So you will for sure see that this task here is something that you have to focus on. So I really like that. Another thing that I'm doing, and is just another thing to pop and to catch my attention on something important, is to write on top something that is important on that day. It doesn't need to be the exact task, but like this day, like here, I'm going to the lab because I need to change the media, and this is important to do. And here I put like that I had to prepare some Matrigel plates, whatever. So it's something that if I don't do it, it will mess up with all my schedule. Like I don't want to forget this. But I like to put this little dot stickers on top just to, and then write next to it what will be the important thing on that day. So here it's the event. So I said I have a lab shift on that day, and if I went, I will cross the circle. So that was working really nicely. Some days I would write a ton more than others, and it really like depends on how my day is going. You see, like here I have a lot of tasks. I had a meeting, and then I have something important that I wrote and a couple more tasks. And then in the other days, there won't be that much happening, especially on days that I have long meetings during the day. But it's okay. I feel like I do have enough space. But if I feel like my days are getting cramped with a lot of, different tasks that I feel like writing, then I will probably move into a bigger planner. But for now, this has been sufficient for what I have to write. So here's the weekend. And sometimes I like to do this. I write down this week, and then I just brainstorm what are the things that I need to do next week. And then when the day comes, I just transfer. And then I start writing each of the tasks. And I put the stickers and things. So this has been working really well in the past months. And I really, really enjoyed, and I love this paper. And it really helped me to get organized at work. So that was fun. But that is not everything. So when I have a meeting, I just write that I have a meeting and in what day it is. But in fact, when the meeting comes, so I'm just going to put this guy aside and complete. So this is what I put here is my daily planner, what I put my task for the day, and I keep a calendar. So this is what this planner is for. When I have a meeting, when I have a meeting, I have notes. And, like you have a meeting and we are talking, there's a lot of brainstorming and it's fast and you have to write a ton of things. So what happened most of the time is that I get things like this. So this is a notebook, this is a Lloydrum, and as you can see here, I have tons of it, and sometimes I use them differently. This is a notebook that I carry in the lab for the meetings. Well, before it would be like meetings that you go to a certain room or amphitheater, and then I would just write a lot of things. Sometimes I don't have even a desk, I'm just in a chair and I have this on my lap to write. So things can get messy, but I like to have all the notes in one notebook, because when I have to remember where things are, where all the details, everything is here. So this is in fact what I register everything on a daily basis. But as I show it to you, it can be messy. It can be like terrible. Sometimes I could just look at it and I'm like, what does this even mean? When you write and you're not in a hurry, you don't want to miss anything, just want to put down. Sometimes you don't write perfect sentences and things in the future might not make sense, but they are here somehow. So what I like to do to make sure that I'm going to do things is that I organize my meeting notes on my ring planner. So this is a personal rings, and I have a video with all the setup and what all the sections are. I'm only going to be showing you my work section. And here on the work section, I like to put this calendar for the year. And basically what I have here are my priorities for the month. And what I'll be focused on each month, those are things that we decided on a meeting. So we sit down as a group and we decided what we're going to tackle this month. What is the project? What is the priority? So I write in here. And then when we have the meeting, I take these messy notes and I transfer them over here. This insert is from Simple and Trendy Co. She's on Etsy. This insert, I don't know if she has it available now for everybody, but I requested, so this is custom made. I basically try to merge some that she had, but with the information that is important to me. So what do I need to know? I need to know when was this meeting, what day or even time, if it matters, who was in this meeting. And to me, this is very important because we need to know who is aware of the information, who is in charge of the task, who is involved with the certain project. So I have attendance and the topic. What is it about? Are we talking about cultivating neurons? Are we talking about the new paper that we are writing? Are we talking about hire a new assistant? So I put here the topic, and here I have a space for my notes. And this, which is really important and helped me a lot this year, was what do we have to do? What are the actions that we're going to take from this what are the tasks that we decided that are important. And sometimes this created a lot of confusion. And like you go to the meetings, you discuss, okay, we should do this, we should do that. But after sometimes people just blank, or, someone calls you and you go for a coffee, you have your lunch and you forget. And there's so much information going on in your head that just forget what you just talked 5 minutes ago that you were for sure going to do. So this is really important. I'm going to give you here an example. So this meeting was in July, and who was in the meeting? Paula, Louisa, I don't put my name in. I was there also, and Tom. And what are we talking about? We were talking about 4-brain organoids. We're talking about 3D cultures that we do in our lab. So here are all the notes, just covering it up. But then there were some things that we decided on the meeting. And what were those things? We decided we would do more for brains, we would have control samples that we would compare to different protocols, and we're going to phenotype everything. So this is what we decided to do, and good for us, we did it all. So that's what this insert is for. And I am so glad that it worked, because if it didn't, I would look for another tool, because I really like to have these things registered, but most importantly, I want them to work and really to help me. So that really helped, and it was great. And another thing that I like to use in this work section is a simple checklist. It's just a checklist. Also in this meeting sometimes, or when you're thinking, especially if you have a creative job somehow, you have ideas, things that you want to do, things that you say, oh, I should do this. But sometimes you don't know when you're going to do them. So, but you don't want to lose it, you don't want to waste that idea, that thought. So just write it down, put it down, and then you're going to do it someday. And this is what I have this insert for. And here's an example. So this is back on March. I put a ton of things that I wanted to do or that I had to do, but I didn't have yet a timeline. And these things can be transferred to your either daily or your calendar when you have a clear view when you have to do it. But I also like to come back here and just check, because let's say I have a free Friday, or I have a free something. I finish everything that I have to do. What should I do now? Yeah, I just go back to this list, and then I start doing things. So I do think that this helps a lot. So this is how I keep meetings and some of my checklists on different ideas and things done. I got asked a lot, how do I keep up with studying? Because when you are in academia, we have to study things, we have to read a lot of things. And how do we keep track of that? How can we know that we read all those 10 journals and things? So I do it 2 different ways. Either I write it down, especially when I am just studying and thinking of things that I don't have a deadline. The purpose is only to learn a different thing, because either you are new to the subject, or you are interested or whatever. So I keep a bunch of these Leuchtturms notebooks that you can see. I have 3 of them here. This is an old one from 2016, and this is in fact when I start working with stem cells. So I thought it was nice to go back to memory lane and see my notes. I was like writing on pencil and everything. But you can just write down, if it's something that you're not in a rush to do your report, to publish your paper or anything, just write it down. When you want to go back to this or to read, you have it all here. But if you are, let's say, doing your master thesis or your PhD or something else, or like I am sometimes writing journals and reviews and reports and something, I just type it directly on Word, on like whatever text software you might have. I just write it there directly. I put a paragraph, I write the idea, what it is. I try already to put my own words, because when you were reading someone else's work, you're not supposed to copy, right? And then what I already do is that I read it, I get the idea, and I type in my own words, and I write down also the reference so that I can put the correct citation. So this is how I keep things, and it helps a lot, because when it comes time to adjust your text, to pack it all and to publish or send or whatever, it's already there. You just have to work on the links. So this is the suggestion that I would give to you. I also keep long-term notes in other notebooks too. So this is another one, and this is more related to a project. So he was like, I was just studying, you know, it was the beginning, it was my postdoc, this thing. And this one now is a research assistant. There's a lot of different projects, so I just keep one notebook per project, because sometimes the subjects are, although it's everything related to neuroscience, but it's something different. So I just registered them all in here. Another tool that I'm not going to show, but I'm just going to say, is that you can for sure use the technology. You know, I'm not only a paper person, I do have it all on my iCal. Ton of meetings that I received the invitation for, they come on my Outlook, on my work email, and this is linked to my Gmail and to my iCal. So let's say there will be a seminar in an institute and they send it all to everybody. If I want to go, I just say accept, and this thing is into my iCal. Especially this year, this is so handy because the link to the Zoom meeting is already on that email, and it goes into your iCal. So it happens a lot. It helps a lot, because it will just pop up the alarm on your computer or on your Apple Watch if you have one. I activate all the alarms in case I'm not sitting by my computer. If I'm walking around either the house or the lab, then it will be alarm setting. I normally set an alarm for 15 minutes before each thing. Like this, I can finish what I'm doing and, you know, get like my hair is okay and I'm not on pajamas or anything like this, and boom, I go to my computer and I watch that meeting. I also put important experiments on my iCal, things that I don't want to miss. For sure, I put like conferences, especially if I'm submitting abstract, and then normally I calculate like a week before or so for the deadline to submit something. So I coordinate all of this paper thing with my iCal, just because then is there. And if there are more people involved in a certain project, let's say I have to coordinate with my other lab members and colleagues or students or assistants or whatever, we can also share the agenda. So that's very handy. So if you're not a paper person, you totally don't need all that. You can have your notes on your Word file. You can have your calendar, alarms, and everything set on your iCal or whatever other software for another platform. And it works, but this is how I get organized. And I can say that this year, although the year was very hard, but somehow I'm gonna say we because I'm part of a group. I'm not a one women show. We do everything together, and everybody's very efficient. So I'm really glad that we were able to keep going and not stop and produce and have science moving. So it really helps in my case to have this little planner here and all the other tools. So I hope you enjoy this video. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know, what do you use for work to get organized, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.